you guys had just finished dealing with a certain trial set forth by Master Hondo out in the jungles of Zunli. You overcame it, and for your efforts were rewarded with the arcane telescope. And talking with the guardian there, you learned of a lost city to the east. Lost city of Wheeze. And you had been slowly making your way there, heading east towards the mountains. In addition, you know of a adamantine mine to the southeast that you had originally set out for. What would you guys like to do?
Go for the mine.
Aren't we on the coast?
You're a bit inland of the coast.
Wait, no. He's right. Weren't we on the coast because we got into the fight with all the frogs and
We were
And we
pearl
were-
diving,
we were
and I
pearl
was writing
diving?
a scroll sitting on a giant log.
Yes. Sorry. I guess I was about a week behind there. My bad on my notes.
I was going to say, I was like, that's the recap from last week.
My bad. Yes, that is right. You guys decided to head west to the not cliffs, the coast there, and have been diving for pearls while Grim is scribing scrolls. Apparently, I just did not note down the hex you were in. That's why. I can see very clearly which hex you would end up in.
Indeed.
All right, so sorry about that.
Yeah, because like I got 2 more days on this scroll to write, and then we're good.
Okay. Well, if I recall, diving for pearls was a set of survival checks.
Well,
didn't we find one though on that
yeah, we
tabaxi
used locate
body?
object and found a pearl.
Yeah. Sorry, you were implying you wanted to stay for 2 more days.
Well, yeah, I was going to finish writing up the scroll. I mean, they don't really need to dive anymore. They can if they want, I guess.
No, I ain't risking the water anymore.
Well, I don't think evil happened in the water.
Bullshit.
Look, that was like morally ambiguous at worst. Those frogs had it coming.
Frogs weren't even in the water.
Yeah, because you guys are in a swamp with your camp made up on like a large fallen tree, like linearly.
Exactly. A swamp is just impure water. It's water with other shit in it. The more watery it gets, the more sinister the life in it becomes.
Watered down water.
I'm trying to remember where we were time of day.
I mean, it was definitely a night we got jumped.
Yes, it was night. You guys got jumped. The remainder of that night had passed uneventfully. It is now morning. The weather is swelteringly hot. There is no wind and not a cloud in the sky. Just this oppressive humidity just bearing down on you guys.
Hmm. Adventuring for the day.
What do you do?
Bury myself in cold mud.
So you guys should basically taking some downtime for these next 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah, those of us who don't have to write a scroll, I don't see, why we wouldn't if we have the option.
All right.
Anyone else have thoughts?
Nope.
Alrighty, I guess.
Drawing a blank.
Smooth brain.
Drawing a blank.
No, that's fair. My brain's also fairly toasty from today. Been a busy day. Yeah, we'll just take some downtime while Mr. Grimm finishes his scroll.
All right.
Alright. What are we doing? Making just wasting time now at the town. Okay, good.
We're not in town.
We're in the middle of nowhere. In a swamp. Next to the ocean.
Okay.
So a brackish swamp. Yes, it does appear we are all just hanging out on the log for the day.
All right.
No go out and engaging in, simple, wholesome tomfoolery.
Yeah, sure.
Shenanigans.
One of you says shenanigans one more time, I'm going to pistol whip you.
Shenanigans.
No, you ruined it,
Get the
Gilbert.
broom.
Well, the day passes uneventfully. Night falls and passes in this sticky weather. But as the night goes on, a strong wind begins to pull out from the ocean, bringing with it much cooler temperatures. And as the sun rises, you can see, that wind is blowing out of the west. On the horizon, you can see dark clouds coming.
Was I able to see the stars this night?
Yes.
Okay. Last day.
Mm-hmm. And the day stays cool, the wind progressively blowing, those clouds getting closer and closer, and as night falls, so too does the first raindrops.
Oh God, not again.
And are you guys keeping a watch when you're sleeping?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
What order?
Chat order.
All right. So you, Hebron, it's mild rain, clouds beginning, and obscuring the stars. But your watch passes relatively quietly. The rain getting slightly harder and harder as the night rolls on. Then you hand off to Giuseppe. The rain starting to come down at a pretty good clip. This is like what you would consider like a normal thunderstorm type rain. Occasional bouts of lightning light up the swamp you're staying in. But your watch is also uneventful. Grimm's watch, unfortunately, no stars, just strong wind and heavy rains, just pounding down on you guys. Are you guys in tents or like a Lehman's tiny hut, or are you just sleeping out in the open?
Tents.
I do believe we have 10 square yards of canvas.
Yes, I believe we made us a tent.
And we also have tents underneath that.
Yeah, we have tents. And then
The
we have
tent and the
a
over tent.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah, we
roof
have a
on our
tent, and then we have the over tent. Yep.
Can't have our
Okay.
tents getting wet.
I have a pillow fort in my tent.
Yeah, you can just hear like the droplets of water just hitting that like upper canvas and just going. Cop, cop, cop. It just hits it over and over and over. Big fat drops just pounding on it.
5-year-old with a snare drum.
Kinda. But your watch, other than that, is uneventful. The river, your watch comes. You're sitting there, and the rain's falling. You can basically see all of like 20 feet around you. And that's when you kind of see this. Originally, you think it's like some type of like seaweed or something that got blown in with this heavy rain coming from the ocean. But it then like as the water like recedes away after one of these waves that kind of brought it closer to your camp, this massive seaweed sort of begins like using like tendrils of viney type stuff. It starts pulling itself closer and closer. You can see it's about 10 feet away from the edge of your camp.
I'm gonna have the Drake wake up. Who's our melee guy, Hebron?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna shoot the seaweed.
Okay. Well, I think we are rolling initiative then. Well. All right. Well, River.
Let's go gambling.
Okay.
Let's see, what is my modifier -5 from 10 feet away? Is that a hit?
Sorry. Yes, those both hit.
+2, plus I can make it my favorite foe, plus I'll have the Drake do acid damage, which I think is still a D6. Where is my Drake's reactions? 1d6 still. 49.
Okay, yeah, your arrows dig deep, blowing bits of tenderly seaweed mass away. It is still coming though.
Alright, I'll just yell seaweed monster to try and wake everyone up.
Yeah, everyone
And,
everyone got woken up. Anything else?
I'm gonna sick the Drake on it, and the Drake's gonna try and grapple it and pull it back into the water.
Okay.
And that is, where is the Drake's stat block? Is this thing size medium or larger?
It is size large.
The Drake can't grapple it then. The Drake is still size small.
Ah,
But can the Drake jump on it and hold on to it and just be annoying?
yes. We would still
Wonderful.
do that as a contested athletics.
Still disadvantage. Oh,
Yeah. So like it like hops around it. The seaweed's sort of flowing around it as if to avoid getting stepped on and restrained. And it isn't quite able to get into an annoying position.
all right. That's it for me.
Okay. Giuseppe.
Did
You
we
guys have that
mention
rod of
the-
alertness, right?
Dagger of warning, but yeah,
Yeah, that's what it is.
party can't be surprised if combat starts.
Exactly.
Rod of
Oh,
alertness
okay.
was Monday.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. So Giuseppe, you get woken up. What would you like to do? Is you hear River yelling about a seaweed monster?
Well, I roll out of bed and see what the monster. How far is the monster from me?
It is 10 feet from you. It is this massive, like tenderly slimy seaweed tentacles, it's sort of like grabbing the ground, just like pulling itself along. You can see like a
Okay,
small, like shallow divot as it leads off into the rain to the west.
Okay, well, I'm gonna. How big is it as a seaweed thing?
It is a large creature.
Okay. Does it look like a person just inside
No.
some seaweed, or does it actually look like?
It's like a ball of seaweed and tendrils.
Okay, well then in that case, I'm gonna smack it with my whip and give it some extra spice on it.
All right, roll to hit then. Those will both hit.
Is anybody else in melee with it?
The Drake is.
Great. That is considered an ally, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
At least I hope so.
Do you consider it an ally?
Oh, yeah.
Do you value your boots more than your living room couch? Because that's really what the question there is.
47 points of radiant and slashing damage.
All right. Yeah, your whip just sort of cuts into it. Little bits of tendrils going off. You can see this like black, almost tar-like ichor sort of leaking out from it as you bloody it.
Ew. It's disgusting. Ew, it smells almost as bad as I do. And I'm done.
All right, Grim.
All right. Distance?
10 feet from you, at the edge of
Hmm.
camp, like just outside the overhang that you set up with your giant canvas.
10 feet is not far enough.
Yeah, the rain basically means that outside that canvas, you got another 10 feet of visibility than nothing. That's how heavy the rain is falling.
But he's within 15 feet of me. That's his
Yes.
mistake. Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
So, yep, start his turn.
Mhm.
And then, bonus action, flip it off. Because, action economy is so great for clerics.
Yeah.
That's
Anything
it for me.
else?
Nope.
All right. Hebron.
Well, run to melee with my sword, hack and slash.
All right, yeah. You run into melee, the rain pounding down on you.
Is it undead?
No. 2 hits. All right, as you start hacking, slashing, bits of seaweed and tendril go flying, more ichor leaking out on the ground, being washed then away by the rain. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. And at the start of his turn, I believe he has to make a wisdom save against Spirit Guardians.
Whiz save.
I think it failed.
That is not enough. Well, radiant damage.
Okay, yeah, it's not looking too great. And let's see here. It is, well, Hebron sort of beat on it. It's going to lash out at Hebron. Does an 18 hit Hebron?
No.
Okay. Well, it gets 2 attacks. And the special. Does a 20 hit you?
No.
Okay. It then moves forward into your space, attempting to engulf you. You have 3.
There's one thing
You've-
I would like to do, though, before it moves into my space.
Mhm.
I'd like to repulse that miss.
Sure. Roll to hit. That hits him.
'17 slashing.
All right, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's looking near death as it just moves forward, like just completely trying to engulf you. Remember, it's a large creature versus you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can either choose to let it engulf you, or you can try to make a dex save to get out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. 1 second, let me check a neat feature I got on that. And so this is, of course, affecting only me.
You are the only creature in that area that it's moving to. Yeah, the drake's off to the side.
Cool, cool. So, that means my shield master comes into play, adding my shield AC to my dex save, which is now a +9.
Nice. There's a good chance you'll be able to avoid this then. Yeah. Yeah. So do you want to go to your left, right, or back?
Which way would, if it tried to continue to envelop me, cause it to move away from the dragon?
Away from the dragon would be left.
I will dodge to the left then. That way, if it
Okay.
keeps coming after me, it gets bitten in the ass.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it like that was one of its actions was to do this engulf thing. So it moves forward and tries to engulf you. It fails. And that's it for the end of its turn. Let's see. We got the environment. Oh, that's good. Let's see. Oh, there's 6 of you. 3. Aha. So let's see. So that would be Grim.
Yeah.
Lightning cracks, and I need you to make a dex save as a bolt of lightning from the storm comes down near you. You have advantage on the dex save because you are currently under that canvas cover.
Hmm. Dex save with advantage.
Yes. Okay. Well, so you dodge most of it, taking only half damage. So that is 7, well, half of that, so 8 points of lightning damage. As you dodge most of the lightning bolt from the sky. Your canvas cover now has a giant, like, smoldering hole in the center. Rain is coming into your camp.
My canvas was too powerful and Under had to nerf it.
All right, River.
I'm gonna shoot the shit out of this spaghetti monster.
Okay.
Lo-
Yep, the crawling
But-
spaghetti monster.
1823.
Both hit.
That's 2 plus 4 plus D6. Drake's reaction. 44.
Okay. Yeah, so your arrows hit it. You know, you can see it ripping and tearing several of these tendrils it goes in. The whole creature sort of slumping and unmoving now, just leaking ichor onto the ground. It appears to be dead.
All right. Do we want to keep this thing or get rid of it?
Keep it? What? What? Why?
I don't know, see what it is. See if we can use it for like poison or anything.
Let's just kill it.
Well, it's already dead, I think.
Got a decent sized chunk off. I'll throw it in a bag.
Well, it's you guys are still in initiative. River, is there anything else you're doing on your turn?
No.
Okay. Giuseppe?
Is it still alive?
No, it appears to be dead.
Oh, good. I'm going back to sleep.
Okay. Yeah, you go back in your tent. Grim.
Why are we still in initiative?
Well, I'll keep Spirit Guardians up and go, cut off a tendril or pick up a tendril that's on the log. Let's walk over and grab one.
Sure. Yeah, there's a couple of disconnected bits you could pick up without having to,
We'll
cut it
make
off the
into,
mass.
Make it into a stew.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of squishy, like like an aquatic plant you would expect to be. Anything else?
No, I'll start heading towards the my tent.
Okay. Hebron.
Well, I'm gonna cut into the center mass of this thing just to really try to make certain it's dead, given the weird magical nature of this thing.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Advantage?
Yeah. One hit. Yeah, you plunge your sword into it. This, like, ichor, since it partially got underneath the what remains of your tarp, some of this ichor just kind of doesn't immediately get washed away, and you just catch like this whiff. It smells. Have you ever had cabbage like start rotting in like the midday sun, like it just got left in a bin and then it starts to rot, and then you just walk by and it just smells horrible?
Not that exactly, but I am familiar with the general concept.
Yeah, this smells like rotten cabbage.
Ugh.
But yeah, as you're cutting into it, like you can't find a core. Like it's just more tendrils and more ichor.
Ugh.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, at the start of its turn, it kind of gives a bit of a jerk and begins moving. I believe it will have to make a wisdom save.
I kept Spirit Guardians up. No sense to waste it. That does pass. For half.
Indeed, indeed. Okay.
My bad. I forgot. Fucking where my keys were. So 7.
7. Okay. Yeah, as it appears to take some damage. And those tendrils that you were cutting into, Hebron, those tendrils that you were cutting into Hebron begin lashing out at you. I don't think either of those will hit as they sort of wetly slap against your armor.
Repulsed.
Go ahead. You no longer have advantage. Miss. As it then lurches forward, trying to just engulf you. I need a dex save from you. Let's see this. And you fail. As it just sort of falls upon you. You are grappled, blinded, and restrained. You are also unable to breathe as this you can just feel like the ichor beginning to saturate, like finding all the gaps in your armor and getting through to the padding underneath. The stench is terrible. And after it just sort of moves forward to sort of basically sit on you, this would provoke an attack of opportunity from the Drake.
Ooh.
Because it did move out of its zone of control just like Hebron planned.
Yeah. The Drake's modifier. That is not very high. That's better than nothing, I guess. 18.
Hits.
It, 9 damage.
Okay. And then let's see, it ends its turn. You get the environment. No lightning strike this time. All right, River.
Which direction does the tendril go into the water in? Can I just like shoot into the water beyond my vision to try and hit whatever?
There is no tendril going into the water. What I was explaining was like as it pulled itself out of the water, it left like a small furrow in the mud behind it.
Oh.
This is
Okay.
this is the entire creature.
Okay. There's a decent chance that if I shoot the monster while it's on Hebron, he'll also take damage. So I'm gonna have my Drake help me, and I'm gonna try and pull him out. Actually, my Drake's not proficient with would this be an athletics check? Strength?
Yes. It'd be a strength athletics check.
My Drake isn't proficient with any skills. Can it help me with this?
Yeah. Yeah, I think like in combat, taking the help action is a thing it can do.
All right. 24.
As you pull the Hebron out of this mass of tendrils, he's like sticky and smells like rotting cabbage.
Oh.
But you did free him. Anything else?
I assume that's my action.
Yeah, that would have been your action. And the Drake's action.
Yeah, that is it for me.
Also, the Drake would have had to move over to you, so you're all on the same side. To help actually pull it out. It can't push from the far side.
Yeah, then I'll just have the Drake move back to where it was, and I will back up to where I originally was.
Okay. Well, unless you have something that prevents it, it's going to take its attack of opportunity against you.
I have a credit card.
I don't take
That's
credit.
a miss.
Yes, it misses you.
All right, that's it for me then.
Okay. So Giuseppe, yeah, you like turn back, start heading to your tent. As you get to your tent, you hear Hebron call out as you then watch this monster you killed, reanimate and then just like move forward and like land on top of him before River and all pull him out.
Oh God!
The tendril monster is still moving.
I walk back over and smack it again. How far is it from me?
Your tent was 10 feet from it.
All right, well then I can just turn around and hit it from where I'm standing.
Yep.
And since it's undead, this is really gonna hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it did.
One hit.
I hit it one time. $30 points of force and radiant, or slashing and radiant.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like you took a decent chunk out of him. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, Grim. You would have also, heard all that. Like you get back, and just as you get into your tent, and you're like considering maybe dropping the Spirit Guardians, that's when you hear the tendril monster go slurp and start moving around again.
All right. Well, I moved to make sure it's still within the range of Spirit Guardians.
It is.
And then a Sacred Flame, so Dex save.
Uh-huh.
It's no bueno.
It would appear to have failed.
5 radiant.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Hebron. You're prone on the ground, but you're no longer grappled, restrained, blinded, and you can breathe.
Well, I stand up and I'm gonna fucking kill this thing.
Okay.
Is it undead?
It is.
Because I'm action surging.
As one does.
4 hits.
4 hits. This is going to hurt it.
Because we ain't quite done with that.
Okay.
Technically, I should have declared the clarification before rolling. It's good. I'm happy with this anyways.
Okay. You're just like beating on this thing. Tendrils going flying. The smell of rotting cabbage is just filling the camp. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, on its turn, it is going to lash out at you.
Wisdom save.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Thank you.
Pass for half. Just want to say, you're 2 for 3 without a modifier, beating a 17 under.
I've got a certain set of skills.
Secret modifier.
And then it lashes out at Eberron.
Yep, so 13 halved radiant damage, so 6 radiant.
Yep. Don't think it hits.
Yep, those miss. Riposte.
Okay. Miss. Oh wait, I was looking at the damage. thing in general.
17 to hit, 13
Yeah,
damage.
Yes. After I said it, I immediately realized I was just being a dumbass. All right, that bloodies it, and then moves forward. And I need another deck save from you, Hebron. All right. Do you want to go try to get behind it as it moves past you? Are you trying to back up just away from it, more off to the left flank, moving
Is
to
there
your
currently
right?
someone in melee with it?
Just you and the Drake. If you move, so going to the left to get kind of behind it will kind of put you and the Drake on the same side. Backing up behind you will just put you further on the party's left flank. Moving to your right will put you closer in, which is the direction it's going. Like you'll just still be in front of it instead of you being on its side.
All right. I do believe that's the one that will put it closer to provoking an attack of opportunity.
Going to the right or backing up will mean that if it keeps trying to come after you, it'll keep provoking attacks of opportunity. Getting behind it means that it'll be moving closer to the Drake if it keeps coming after you.
All right. We will back up then.
Okay, so you back up, trying to draw to the left flank. The movement that it did to do that, as you back up nimbly away from it, surging forward, from your perspective now to the right, would provoke an attack of opportunity from the Drake.
That is a number.
And by the way, for Giuseppean Grim, this means it is now 5 feet away from you. That hits.
Another 4.
Well, it's better than nothing. It is still bloodied. All right, that is it for it. Lightning. No lightning. River.
I'm going to. This monster is weird. Is it like super weird, or is it something that's just known but uncommon?
Making nature check. It's real weird.
That shit's weird. Was that my action or?
No.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it because I don't like weird things.
Yep. It is. It would also be about 5 feet away from you too. So if you're shooting with a ranged weapon, you are at disadvantage.
I don't like being at disadvantage either. I'm gonna back up and then shoot it.
Okay. Well, we'll take its attack of opportunity against you. Does a 17 hit you?
Miss.
Okay. Yeah. You dodge the tendril. You back up, and you miss both your shots.
And I'm gonna have the Drake bite it in the butt.
Okay. Drake moves up, bites it up. Crit.
Where's that in that 20s? Or 11.
All right. Anything else?
That's it for me.
All right, Giuseppe.
I guess I'll hit it again if it's right 5 feet from me.
Indeed, it has gotten closer. One hit.
Oh shit, that was all wrong.
That is a bit wrong. Why don't you just re-roll that using a Ashlic D?
There you go.
There we go. That looks more reasonable. You just start tearing strips off this thing. And it's looking pretty badly damaged. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, Grim.
Let's do a Sacred Flame.
All right.
Dex save. No bueno.
Indeed. These it fails.
Yeah, for whatever reason. And I'm doing about the same damage as 3d8. So, 7 radiant.
Anything else?
Nah.
Hebron.
Stab, stab, slash, slash.
All right. You summon forth Skaven. And hit it.
Oh, I forgot I missed. So, Gilbert, you can take the extra acid damage from the Drake.
Plus another 2 acid.
Okay, yeah. It is looking to be near death. Anything else?
Nope.
All right. This guy, at the start of his turn, has to make a wisdom save.
Die, you fucker.
What?
What'd you say?
Yeah, 12.
9
Nice.
radiant.
All right. Oh, let's see. It is going to lash out at the big damage dealer, which is actually Giuseppe at this point. Wow. That's a thing. Does a 21 hit Giuseppe?
I believe it does. I believe. Wait, let me say. Yeah, 21 will hit. 21 will hit me. Yes, both of those hit.
Okay.
Ow.
Well, it hits you the first hit for 16 points of bludgeoning, and then the second hit for 14 points of bludgeoning. And then it moves forward, and I need deck saves from both Mr. Grimm and Giuseppe.
Son of a bitch.
All right. So, Grimm, would you like to back up or move to your right?
I mean,
It's coming right at you. So, do you want to keep backing?
is there any difference between either of those positions?
Putting it, if you go to the right, you'd be putting it right between you and Hebron. So if it keeps coming after you, it'll move away from Hebron. Otherwise, just back up. You're just moving like laterally across Hebron's zone.
Then to the right.
Okay.
To give Hebron an attack of opportunity if possible.
If it keeps coming after you, it will. This movement didn't provoke it from him. It did provoke it from the Drake, though. If Sleuth is here.
Oh, just now?
Yeah, like that engulf when it moved forward onto the two of them. Giuseppe is grappled, restrained, and blinded and unable to breathe at the moment.
That's not good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Giuseppe just, rotting cabbage smell just leaking all over you. All right, yeah, and then that's it. Lightning. No lightning. River.
I'm going to have the Drake help me pull Giuseppe out.
Okay. Well, athletics check.
Athletics check is. I should have a angel there.
All right, yeah,
24.
you and your Drake managed to grab Giuseppe and pull him out, out from under it, so he's no longer, grapple blinded, restrained, or unable to breathe. But he's covered in like this Icarus substance that just smells like terribly rotting cabbages. The whole camp reeks of it now.
I'm getting eaten. We're moving camp. But my action, Drake's action, that is, I'm gonna leave the log and go inland. Well, what path for land in a swamp, anyways?
Okay, so you're jumping into like the waist deep water.
Yeah, I've got a swim speed. I'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's also pounding down this heavy, heavy rain. How far are you going?
Let's go 20 feet.
Okay. At 20 feet, you'll barely be able to see the camp behind you. You've only got about 10 feet of like good vision in this rain. Like,
all right.
That's why your camp was nice, because he basically gave you the 10 feet outside of your camp because you had that big tarp above.
Go 15 then.
Okay.
That's gonna be it for me.
Okay. Giuseppe, you are prone on the ground, right next to this monster where you got pulled out.
Yeah. Ugh. Get myself up off the ground and hit this thing.
Okay. Yeah, low speed near death. Roll to hit. Two hits.
Is somebody in melee with it?
Yes. Grim and Giuseppe and the Drake are all in melee with it.
What about me?
And Hebron.
34 points of slashing and radiant damage.
All right, yeah. You just get pissed. Like, this thing just knocked you down and covered you in smelly shit. You just start hacking it to pieces. And eventually, there is just nothing but like cut tendrils, rotting cabbage ichor smelling stuff, and seaweed. And you guys are out of initiative.
Right. There's no breeze at all tonight, is there?
There is strong wind coming out of the west.
Oh,
You're
all right.
downwind of the cabbage smell.
Yes.
I'll climb back into camp and just push the cabbage into the swamp.
Windward or leeward side?
We'll put the cabbage downwind of us if that is possible.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Like, are you shoving it like just upwind of you or just downwind of you?
Just downwind. So that the wind isn't taking the smell into the camp.
I mean, I just sacred flame and firebomb the smell.
I can
Just
do
keep
that
casting
from.
sacred flame on the corpse. Yeah, 60 feet away.
You can do that from 10 feet upwind.
So there is no corpse. There's just like seaweed and like viney tendrils from the sea and this ichor that seemed to have been holding it all together that smells of rotting cabbages. There's no like actual body.
Yes. I am sacred flaming the ichor and the tendrils.
Okay. So yeah, you start sacred flaming it. Yeah, it like burns it away, leaving like this like scorch on the ground, and the smell gets worse. In fact, like Hebron is like you're like cleaning like your sword and your armor and stuff. You realize that it's like it's like it's stained the metal.
Ooh.
And like you're even like when you like clean it with like thoroughly like mechanically clean it with like a rag and oil and all that, it's still like slightly got like this off color wherever the ichor was, and it still smells faintly of rotting cabbage.
Oh. Hebron's cabbage sword. Oh well.
But yeah, eventually Grim, you are able to kind of clean up most of it. It still stinks, but at least like all the bits of it are gone.
Okay.
Okay, you guys doing anything else, or just resuming your rest?
I mean, let's see. What junk do I have? I have a couple hammocks and a handful of candles. I would like to patch the hole.
Okay. Are you proficient in tailor's tools, I think it is, or clothier's tools?
To heat up wax and stick two pieces of canvas together.
Oh, that's what you're. Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like you were going to try to stitch together and then just seal the joint with the wax, like by rubbing it on it.
I have neither needle nor thread.
This is why
We're
I was
just going
beginning to question.
mechanically fusel,
Yeah, I
mechanical
get what you're doing
fusion.
now.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you're basically just
Yeah.
going to melt the wax, kind of lay the canvas on top, and then just kind of pour it into the joint and hope it sets well enough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can roll it up and have the damaged part exposed, and then pull that inside of one of the 2-person tents, and fix it in there out of the rain.
That would make it significantly easier than having the rain
Mhm.
constantly cooling your wax as soon as it's applied.
Yes, indubitably.
But yeah. Are you going to do that now? Because that will take long enough time to interrupt your rest.
If I can rationally put that together, no, I wouldn't want to interrupt the rest. We'll just sleep away from the hole.
Yeah.
And then we'll just throw the pair of hammocks over top of it in a cross shape to
Yeah, you
get
can
water off
you can
of it
easily
for now.
improvise something just to lessen the hole. And just adjust your tent's position so, your tent isn't directly under this hole.
Mm-hmm.
Weaver's tools. That's what it was. Not
Yeah.
clothier's.
I mean, I take either for canvas.
Well, no, there is no such thing as clothier's tools.
I thought there was like tailor's tools.
Nope. Just
Huh.
weavers. Weavers are including for like repairing objects of cloth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, Okay, yeah. So you guys, patch the hole. The rest of the evening passes without incident, and morning comes. You have successfully completed your long rest. And you can tell it's morning because it is slightly brighter outside, though the rain is still pounding down on you. So you guys are going to spend 2 hours or so to repair that hole in the canvas, or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got the tents up before we set out. We might as well patch the canvas because if it's raining now, it'll probably be raining tonight. If not, well, then we can spend more time properly patching it, or at least attempting to.
Yeah. But yes, your improvised fix with just melting candle wax and pressing the canvas together does work. Not the greatest looking of patch jobs, but should be waterproof at least.
That is gold here.
Mm-hmm. Because right now, outside this outside your tents, the rain is coming down. You got out, once you get outside of protected areas like your canvas, you have 10 feet of visibility through this heavy, heavy rain.
Even with light cantrip?
It's not a matter of how far your light goes. It is a physical obscurement from how much water is falling down.
Oh, okay. It's pouring buckets. Got it.
Yes. For reference, you guys are basically standing in the middle of a tropical storm.
Monsoon season. I thought we were early.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I do believe we are at least going roughly eastward.
Okay. So you guys trying to make it for the Lost City of Whis, which is the guy said it was basically east, or did you want to head for the adamantine mine to the southeast?
The adamantine mine.
Okay. Well then, please give me a navigation check as you begin slogging through the swamp in the middle of a tropical storm.
Survival check?
Yes. What did I say?
Navigation.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it is a survival check, but for navigation. Okay.
And I have both. I can.
Yeah, I'm using navigator's tools when I make the check to lessen the DC, and then somebody's helping for advantage, and then guidance.
Okay.
Or at least if I understand, that's how we've been doing survival. If you've got a compass, it's a little easier.
Yeah. That is how we've been doing it. So you guys begin slogging your way through the jungle. The going is a bit slow and hard due to the constant heavy rainfall, the occasional blasts of lightning, though none of it really comes close to you guys at the moment. And as you get to about midday, you're kind of starting to just now climb up out of the swamp. Jungle's still ahead of you, though you can see that it is going to be a little bit easier because the jungle canopy will provide a little bit more protection than the somewhat sparser canopy of the swamp. But I will need a Constitution saving throw from all four of you versus exhaustion, because this is terrible conditions to be traveling in.
Oh god, it's hot. I'm wearing heavy armor.
Shut up, you fucking pussies. Mister.
What?
Con save against exhaustion.
Exhaustion?
You guys
Why?
because you guys have been spent 4 hours wading through a swamp while in the middle of a tropical storm. It is like some of the worst possible conditions to try to do this in.
Why are we still trudging through this shit?
Well, because you've just now gone out of the swamp. But it took you half a day to get here. Hebron and River gain a level of exhaustion, though Grim and Giuseppe are fine. And you press on at a bit of a faster pace now that you've got the jungle canopy helping. But eventually, night falls. And as you're setting up your camp, I will need another set of con saves against exhaustion. Well, this time it looks like it was Giuseppe and Hebron that got a bit tired out as the end comes and they both gain another level of exhaustion. The rain continues unabated this night. You guys still maintaining the same watch order?
Yeah. Don't see any reason not to.
Okay,
Works for me.
sure. The heavy rain continues through the night. Your patch does hold. Water pools a little bit around it in the like at the edges, but it doesn't come through. In the river, as you're on your watch, you do notice that the rain is beginning to lessen. Though as morning comes and you complete another long rest, it is still raining, though not nearly as heavily, and the wind has abated quite a bit.
Hmm.
I will then need another navigation check. All right. So you begin plodding through the sodden jungle. And as you're going through, after the miles and the miles, the rain lessens and lessens, and by about mid-afternoon, you can begin to see rays of sunshine breaking through the clouds and dappling on through the canopy. There's still a bit of a breeze, and droplets of water occasionally still fall. But you can see that the clouds aren't quite as like black looking. You can see that really, even though the sun rises in the east, it is in fact darkest in the east, despite being midday. As it looks like the clouds are just heading like straight across the jungle towards the mountains. And as the day comes to an end, you guys didn't hear any of that, did you?
No, we heard all of that.
Oh, okay.
It is dark in east.
Yes, it's dark to the. Sorry, I just realized that the VM I'm using tends to cause issues, so I just realized that my cursor was there. Yeah. So as the day comes to an end, there's still some scattered clouds, but by and large the rain has stopped. There's still a breeze out of the west, and you also notice it's a bit cooler. Like it's not. It's still humid, but instead of being like 80% humidity and 100 degrees Fahrenheit, it's like 60% humidity and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Significantly better.
Sure.
Well,
Don't yawn. Don't do that.
All right.
but
Well.
this night passes. You're able to see stars.
Ah. I acquire a different spell.
Indeed. come the morn, there's a slight breeze out of the west, and not a drop falls from the sky. Occasionally bits fall from the canopy, but not from the sky. The temperature has resumed its normal hotness. Another navigation check, if you would. All right. Yeah, so as you guys are walking through the jungle, it's still like muddy, it's still sodden. But it's significantly nicer going than the past 2 days. There's no rain, just a nice breeze. And as you're just making your way through the jungle, you do begin to notice that some of the trees look odd. And because it caught your eye, you would look. It looks dead, like a tree was grown there and just died. No leaves, just decrepit trunk.
And it's just like once every once in a while, or
Well-
like we're coming up onto an area that's full of these dead trees.
Like at first, it's once in a while, then you notice that they're getting a little bit more common. And by midday, about half the trees you're encountering here appear to be dead.
That is very strange. In this luscious jungle, for there to be trees that aren't luscious.
Well, it's more like, an occasional dead tree. It happens. Trees do just die. But bugs and just random lightning strikes. Trees do have a lifespan. But the frequency is unusual. That's why I'm calling it out. Because you guys would notice that this is unusual. The large amounts of dead trees.
There's something weird with this soil, maybe. Kind of just like take a knife, cut through any undergrowth, and see if the dirt's weird.
Sure. Yeah, so you cut through the undergrowth, you dig yourself into the dirt there. Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Nature. 9.
I mean,
This-
it's dirt.
This
It is-
dirt is made of dirt.
But even with the 9, you can tell that there's something weird about it. As you kind of like look at and kind of bring it up towards your face, get a better look. You do have like this wafting sense of a very acrid odor coming from it.
So, there's a decent chance that this is relatively mundane, at least. But it's weird that something's changing the soil around here.
You want me to spend some time popping in Tech Magic and see if stuff starts pinging?
It wouldn't hurt,
You?
probably. Well, it
Alright.
might.
Yeah, I'll spend some time ritually casting Detect Magic.
Okay. Yeah, you cast Detect Magic. And what you detect is a general aura of necromancy coming from the soil all around you. Like not blindingly, so it's like almost like a low level necromancy.
All right. Is there any particular direction that is stronger than another direction? Like, if I look to the east and look to the west, is the west less bright and the east more bright, or vice versa?
So yeah, you guys are currently traveling to the southeast. If you go due east, you can see that it is getting stronger that way, weaker to the west.
Okay. Yeah, so if I take 30, 40 steps in that direction, it continues faintly getting stronger.
Right. There is definitely a gradient.
Look at the party. Pointing due east. Stronger that way. We could just keep going to the cave, though. Or the mine.
Is that what you do?
Oh, I was waiting for a general consensus from the 3 other people that are a part of this party, but
Yeah, makes sense.
to which? It wasn't a just say yes. It was a, yes or no to either or.
Go towards where's strongest, see what's making all the weird shit. I've zoned out for a little bit of it, but how far are we from the mine?
Probably at least a couple more days, if not more. So this would probably be a detour.
And we've already detoured.
I don't see a reason to not check it out.
All right. We engage the detour, heading due east, following the strength of the magic.
That being said, I do need to step away for a moment to use the restroom.
Okay. So you start heading east, following the gradient. You notice that the number of dead trees getting more and more. The canopy getting sparser and sparser due to the lack of living trees. You also notice that the underbrush is beginning to thin out. And
Alright.
as you're just moving along, you what's everyone's passive perception?
This character?
Mhm.
19.
16.
So as you're moving along, especially this thinning out underbrush, you do notice at one point you cross what looks to be a set of footprints, heading mostly east, but also slightly to the south. Like you cross it at an oblique angle.
Alright. And considering. Is it still raining?
No.
Okay, with that humidity change, the rain went away. Well, considering the rain was so recent, could I don't know, examine these tracks to see how old they are? Because obviously the rain would have washed them away if they were older than a day.
Yeah, you would expect that. Make a survival check.
All right. River, you helping? Burger? Cool.
So you're looking at this, and you know it rained here recently. You can see occasional like puddles of water. Um, but as you're like poking at these footprints, you realize that the like impression is almost like a not like you would expect in a muddy like soil, but almost like it's how to describe this? It's like a Jello mold, right? It jiggles when you poke at it.
Hmm.
And you're from what you can tell, like when you like poke the ground slightly, it kind of rebounds. When you push real hard, eventually it does like leave an impression similar to like these boot prints. It also tends like when you do that to figure this out, your character would also note that there is like that same acrid smell that River found when he like scraped the soil with his knife. Almost like an acidic smell to it.
Well, I'd like to, without disturbing one of the footprints, step as close to it as I can.
Yeah, you're right up to it.
No, I mean like I want to walk past as if I'm walking as parallel as I can without standing on the footprints.
Oh, you want to follow them?
Well, just for a few steps, I want to look and examine my own footprints to see
Ah,
if I can figure out a time scale of how long ago these happened.
yeah, yeah. So you make your steps. Um, you do leave similar footprints, obviously slightly different, but similar in that same level of depression into the ground. You can see your
Same
footprints
weird
trail.
Jello mold.
Yeah, you do notice when you then go back and examine your own footprints that they also tend to jiggle slightly. The ground itself seems to be like that.
Mm-mm.
Because you guys have been walking in mud, you didn't notice until now.
So
You
the
were
ground is
used.
not made of ground here.
Well, it's not entirely ground. From what it looks like to you, is it's like it's mud with like gelatin like in it.
Huh. All right. Sure, let's follow the stranger with our very not stealthy party.
Okay. So yeah, you follow him maybe 100 feet or so, and you find like a small ravine, and there at the bottom, uh, you can see what looks to be a pile of bodies. 3 of them, to be precise. 2 that appear to be rather in decrepit shape. The clothes almost rotting off their body. The other to be what looks like a dwarf and chainmail. The chainmail tarnished, though still looks serviceable. Um, and it looks like he just was overcome by these 2 guys.
Who are also dead.
Yes, very.
So I guess do a deep dig into the scene and figure out what happened.
Okay. Give me an investigation check then.
They dead.
Yeah, they're very dead. Just even a cursory examination, the 2 non-dwarf bodies, which look humanish, um, are very obviously undead. They were zombies of some kind. The dwarf, though, does not appear to have reanimated. Like, as far as you can tell, it's just like a corpse.
Hmm. Well, I guess I'll give the course a thorough, exam and figure out why the hell it didn't reanimate and why it's just dead, not undead and re-dead.
Okay. Another investigation check then, as you've been poking around at the dwarf.
Not medicine.
Medicine, yeah, that would work too. I forgot that was a skill.
I much
Oh.
better at that one.
Yeah. So you start examining him, kind of peeling back bits of the armor, looking at him, and you're pretty sure you figured out how he managed to not do this. It looks like he got jumped by these zombies and fell down the ravine and broke his legs. He managed to kill the zombies, but he was badly hurt and dying. And as far as you can tell, the 2 empty vials previously contained a strong acid that he drank. He dissolved his innards and then, sat there with the acid in him, so that when he reanimated, it didn't just instantly kill him again. So he doesn't look reanimated because he didn't get the chance to walk around or anything.
Yeah. His
But
skin
he
didn't
basically
start
did it-
melting because his insides did.
Right, yeah. He basically prevented himself from turning into an undead by destroying his own corpse using acid, because that would take long enough that he could actually physically drink it and then it kills him.
Right. And with that, about how long ago did he eat it?
It looks like he's been here about a month.
And those footsteps led to here and stopped?
Yes, in fact, as you're looking at his boots, they look like they're a perfect match for those footprints.
So, because of the gelatinous nature of the soil, the rain didn't erase them.
It would appear not.
Indeed. Well, looks like he is all the way dead, so I guess go through his pockets and look for loose change.
Okay.
I'm never not going to say that. That's probably one of my favorite scenes in all movies.
Mm-hmm.
Get back, witch! I'm not a witch, I'm your wife!
All right, sorry about that. I'm back.
No worries.
Dead dwarf, couple zombies. He drank acid so he didn't become a zombie. Looting the Bobby right now.
Badass. Respect on that dwarf. How much body's left?
The outside is remarkably well preserved. Think like a spider, like liquefying the insides. That's what he did to himself.
Mad
He's got
respect.
serviceable chainmail, and I don't remember if there's any other obvious out in the open loot.
What is the appropriate burial process for a dwarf?
Cremation.
All right, I'll be burning
can
the
handle that.
body and putting his bones into the retrieval bag.
You're gonna keep his teeth?
Hmm? No. Like, put his bones in one of
What
the sacks
bones?
I have.
There's really just skin.
And also, Gilbert, when you cremate somebody, the bones get burned too. The only thing that doesn't get burned by a
Actually,
cremational fire is
that's incorrect. Usually, you have to pulverize the bones afterwards.
Depends on how hot the fire is, and we're using magic fire.
Yeah, generally speaking, though, the bones are pulverized.
Yes, on Earth. I was referring to the fact that I'm going to be using Sacred Flame. What bones?
So, small correction here. The acid ate everything inside of him. There really aren't any bones inside of him.
So he's just literally a flesh bag.
Yes.
Yeah, that part was slightly unclear.
Yeah, sorry. Let me put it this way. He is a dwarf-shaped bag of skin with like slightly gelatinous innards as the remains from the acid.
And not
All
just
right,
as a
we
nest
burn
egg.
the sack.
Yeah, the
I'll
Emperor's
just
still
cremate
got
the
here
body and
first.
put it in a bag, and then you can put that bag in the sack. You're not going to put an acid jello body in the bag.
Yeah, no, obviously. Like I said, we burn it.
So let's see what we can find in his pockets that aren't acid.
Yeah, okay. So he had on him the set of chainmail, which is still serviceable, just it's a little rusted. He also had. I'll just type it out actually. All right, yeah. So he had 70 gold, 15 silver, a deck of tarot cards, a ring of iron keys, a 1 pound bar of adamantine, some stale bread, and a jagged shard of black crystal on a leather cord.
Well, you can take that. As for his outfit and getup, and the fact that he was heading southeast, does he look like a member of the group of dwarves we were hanging out with?
No, those were merchants.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like somebody who's like more martially trained. But from what if you're trying to imply, they're from like the same mine, yes.
Yeah, like inferring, like like the way they cut their beards are the same. Like he's the militant wing, they're the civil wing.
Yeah, and yes.
Okay. Is there, besides the jagged shard of black crystal, is there any other identifying marks on any of these items? The Ring of Iron Keys specifically?
So the armor, the ring of iron keys, and the bar of adamantine all have a like dwarven sigil stamped into them.
Okay.
Do any of you speak Dwarvish?
Nope.
I think so. Yes, I do.
I speak Goblinese. That's my weird language.
Reveal to me your secrets under.
It's the Dwarvish sigil for twat.
Yeah. So this is from a mine, and the name of the mine is Hrakhamar.
You cut out.
The name of the mine is Harak Hamar. And like I said, it's a dwarvish sigil of a mine. From what you can tell, this would be of similar to like a city's coat of arms
Hmm.
or a seal.
Mint mark.
Now, the mint mark is different. Like, yes, the armor also bears a dwarvish maker's mark, but this was more like a to mark it like a flag on a uniform.
All right. And Gilbert, you wrote down the bar of adamantine?
E.
Yeah, I absorbed everything else. Well, it's been a while since I dated that hipster chick, but given my, sort of research nature background, do I recognize what kind of crystal this black crystal is?
Oh god, that's not a hipster chick.
What?
I was
Yeah,
making
they're
a
in the
joke, but
freaking
that's not
astrology
a hipster
and
chick.
crystals. That's a hipster chick.
So it is not a crystal that you are familiar with, though as you're handling it, you do notice it does contain a dwemer of magic to it.
Huh. Well. I will ritually cast Identify on it.
Okay.
Because now I know that spell, at least when its stars are out.
Yes, and you have a certain pearl.
Pearl.
Yeah. And this is what Identify tells you.
Yeah, definitely a hipster chick crystal.
Yeah, it's very goth.
Well, you can hang on to that if you want, Hebron.
What, the nonsense crystal?
Well, it heals 3d8. You tend to take the most damage.
Hmm.
I mean, if I'm taking damage,
My
something has
life
gone
or giving
horribly wrong.
credence to crystal healing.
Hebron, go against your ways. Join the dark side. So you take? Well, we can give it to Giuseppe, but he'll forget he has it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
What?
No offense, mister. See if you're paying attention. Well, you're typically not in a position to take damage like Heveron is, so it makes sense for him to have the
That's true.
nifty healing boost.
Yes.
And from what I'm reading the language, it looks like it's a one-time use.
Yeah, it's similar to a potion, except it heals a bit more, and it's a bit more metal.
Right. So yep, I will pocket the change, I will pocket the tarot cards, and I will pocket the iron keys, and somebody else can grab the chainmail and battle axe because my carrying capacity is no. Or we can just leave them on the ground here.
What?
Well, I can't carry them.
No, seriously. Like, what are you talking about?
The chainmail and battle axe.
Oh, I've already got my own spare set. I don't need anything with it.
Josie,
What?
do you want to carry the chainmail and battle axe?
No. Well, I mean, why? I don't need them. I don't want them.
Okay.
I don't. I have no use for the battle axe, and the chainmail would actually be worse than what I'm wearing. So,
Well, not to equip, just to carry.
don't we have a cart?
Mr. Grimm
No,
looks around.
you
We've
have
had a
no
cart? Fucking where?
Oh, okay. Well, again, if nobody else can carry it, then hell, I'll carry the extra armor. Give it to me.
Like one of these fucking moments when he mentions a cart.
When the fuck do we get ice cream? I remember that. I remember that movie. That would be so bad. Speaking of bad movies, though, I saw one on Prime the other day. It was called Killer Sofa. It was about a sofa.
I already understand that that's going to be a horrible movie.
I mean, it
You don't
was
even got to
so
explain it. The
bad.
title is enough.
It was so bad.
Here, let's just take 2 words out of a hat and make a movie about it somehow.
Killer Sofa. It was funny. Showed the sofa moving around the living room, choking people and shit. It was so bad, dude. It was so...
All right. But so the like rough, playing around on a map and where we are and where this guy is and the direction the footprints we were following were heading, it looks like he was heading towards the adamantine mine that we were going for.
It looks like he was heading from the mine, and then
Ooh.
turned this way, probably for the same reason you guys did.
Ah, okay. Well, we
We-
bring his cremated remains with us,
Okay, sure.
and I guess I'll recast detect magic and get a vector on that vector.
All right. Yeah, you Roger into that, Victor.
Vector.
I meant what I said.
That's what I meant.
You can't trick me. There will be no
Surely I
gaslighting,
can.
Gilbert.
Surely I can.
Gilbert, of everyone I know, you're the least allowed to say that.
What? You're not going to gaslight me?
Yeah, we tend to get away with you a lot.
Yeah. It's quite easy when there's massive swaths of ignorance to what you're referring to.
Indeed.
Okay. So yeah, it looks like it's more to the north at this point, and you guys are heading that way?
Yeah. Following
Okay.
the magic beacon.
Yeah, you start following the magic. Yeah, at this point, like, all the trees around you are dead.
Well, it's their own damn fault for growing here.
Yeah, the ground is even beginning to feel a little weird. Like it's no longer like just like that muddy. It almost feels like you're walking on like jello. Yeah, you can clearly
that
see
won't
behind
get
you
old.
like your footprints just remaining like almost like they're just impressed into the ground. Like have you ever seen like someone leave like footprints through mostly cured cement? Kind of like that.
All right.
I want to go on record as saying I hate this place.
And as you're getting more and more north, you're also beginning to notice like not only just coming from the ground, but now like in the very air, you're smelling like this acidic smell.
Well, I think we're heading in the right direction.
And ahead of you, maybe 50 feet or so, the sun's starting to get a little low on the horizon. But it looks like there's a clearing up ahead. And when you approach, you realize that the ground there is not, like this ground has been like the plants have died and rotted away. There, it almost looks like you can see like a few stumps. It looks like the area was cleared. And in the center of this clearing, you can see a squat stone structure with like a vertical like pole sticking out of it, maybe 50 feet into the air.
Diameter?
The building appears from this distance to be about 15 by 15, about a story tall, so about 10 feet tall. The pole is, think like a flagpole, right? It's like 9 inches or so at the base.
Damn. All right. Well, Gilbert, we found something. Your turn to take point.
All right. I'll scope it out.
You have a telescope?
Well,
Yes, but I haven't let him touch it.
The telescope, not tell him scope.
I don't know. Just walk over there. I mean, you want to lend it to me for a moment?
I hand it to him backwards.
I'm not stupid. What are your int scores again?
13 with a wisdom of 22. Mr. Grimm is very dad joke savvy.
Dude, I
As
think
long
that
as
might
we
actually
don't
make me the
use-
smartest party member.
If we go
14
off
int,
raw
16
intelligence
wisdom.
being the factor, sure. You got me by 1.
A win's a win.
Yeah, but it's Gilbert, so you can take away 3 points.
Player bias -3 to int.
What was that, mister? I couldn't hear you over the sound of you not paying attention on a regular basis.
I said that your intelligence as a player is lacking, so it's a -3.
I couldn't
Uh-huh.
hear you over you being a useless cleric.
Did you hear it that time? Because I
No,
speak
I-
louder. Don't try to
I'm
put
afraid
me
I
on
couldn't
game,
hear
Kevin.
you.
I have no fear. What?
Coughs a little bit, pulls out megaphone. I said.
Nah, he's just peeking the mic
How would
now.
you
I can't
like-
understand him at all. All right, Under, what kind of check do you want me to be making here? Will this be perception or investigation?
Well, if you're not approaching it, if you're just looking at the edge of this clearing, it's perception. If you're walking over there, it's investigation. Did any of that come through?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna perception that first.
Okay. Give me a perception check then.
Can use the telescope.
If you get the telescope and use it, you get advantage. Okay. So you're looking at this, and you can see that this is a squat stone structure. It looks like there is a closed iron door on the southern face of it, or sorry, the western face of it. You can clearly see signs of like advanced corrosion. There's just like the door is more rust colored than iron color, which is why from a far distance away you didn't notice it. It blended into the stonework. You can see clearly that there is something oozing out from like the bottom of this door, and there's like this like brownish ooze just in front of the door.
Mm-hmm.
On as you're looking at it, so this would be the southern face of the building. You can see a metal ladder, kind of set into the stonework, also heavily rusted, which goes up to the roof, which has this big 50-foot flagpole. And you can clearly see that there is something moving, but you can't make out what it is from here on the roof. Based on how low it is, you think it's like a dog's, like a dog-sized critter.
Well, I will certainly communicate that to the party.
Giuseppe, you want a new pet? There's a dog on the roof.
I
You should go get it.
I don't like dogs.
Maybe it's not a dog. It's just doggish.
I stabbed Giuseppe. He's clearly some kind of fiend.
I'll go rescue the dog.
We should
Yeah,
probably
go ahead.
move as a group.
Give it a good kick for me.
Okay.
Okay,
So you
now I
guys are
stab
walking
Giuseppe.
across the open ground to the ladder on the southern face of this building.
Is
Or-
there easier access with a climb speed than the ladder?
No, the ladder is by far easier than trying to scale the stone walls of this structure. Like, because as you approach, you see the stone itself is like finely cut. Think like like actual like brick, not bricks, but they cut large blocks of stone and like fit it together tightly. This in fact would be extremely hard to climb. So the ladder is by far the easiest way to get to the top outside of a fly speed.
All right, I'll just go up the ladder then.
Okay. So you go up to the ladder. The ladder kind of swing as you move up it. It's not you don't think that the ladder could really take more than one person at a time without falling to pieces.
That's not good.
Well,
And
let's
you
tie a rope once you get up there.
Yeah, you get to the top. There is like a little lip around the building, like a 2-foot tall stone lip to like a small wall, really low wall. Occasional holes along the bottom where it meets the flat part of the roof to let water drain out.
Mhm.
And as you're looking, this roof is clean. Like it's just gray stone, more of that interlocking stone brickwork. And you can see over by the flagpole this well, they lie to you about it being a dog as it starts munching on the flagpole. Does not appear to have noticed you yet.
Mhm.
So what do you do?
I'm gonna point to Giuseppe and tell him to come up. Well, wave to him to come up.
Why?
While you're still on the top of the ladder? You
Well,
just got to the top of the ladder and poked your head over the roof edge.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll get on the roof off the ladder and then do that.
Okay.
And try to stay quiet about it.
Well, give me a stealth check. Yeah. As you're trying to be quiet and motioning Giuseppe to climb up the ladder.
31.
Mm-hmm. Much.
Okay, what do you want?
Gonna wave Giuseppe up.
Okay, what do you want?
Are you going up the ladder?
I guess since he called me up there, I'm gonna try to.
He's waving you up there. Are you like yelling, "What do you want?" or are you going up the ladder, or what?
And I'm just gonna if he's waving me up and making it look like he wants me to be quiet, I don't know if he's doing that or not, but I'm assuming he is because he's trying to be quiet himself. Then I'll go up there and see what he wants.
Okay. So yeah, you also go up this ladder. Your head goes over the ladder. You see the little insectoid dog taking a bite out of the flagpole.
I guess I attack the dog thing, whatever it is.
Okay. So you just leap over the, when you get up there, just haul yourself over and just charge.
Is that what it is? The thing on the that you posted, a rust
Yeah.
monster?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sure. I'll attack it.
All right. Well, I guess we're rolling initiative. Hebron, River.
Sorry, I was having to coordinate some stuff with my brother. Initiative?
Indeed. All right, River. So you're up there. Giuseppe's very clearly moving to attack. What do you do?
I'm going to hold an action to attack when Giuseppe makes his attack.
Okay. Anything else?
And I don't know if I have to call it now, but I'll make it a sharpshooter shot when it does happen. But that's it for me.
Okay. Yeah, you just have to make that declaration before you roll the attack. All right, Giuseppe.
All right, I'm going to attack.
Okay. Are you trying to be stealthy in your approach to it, or are you just stomping over there?
How far is it from me?
15 feet? Oh, wait, no, sorry. It's 15 by 15 building. It's like 6 feet from you.
Oh, well, then I don't have to move.
Yeah. Okay. No, roll to hit then.
I can hit it with my whip.
Yeah. Okay, one hit. All right.
18 points of radiant slashing.
All right. Yeah, as you bloody it. Your whip isn't that the metal whip?
Yes.
Okay. It's not magical, is it?
No.
All right. Well, that whip takes a -1 penalty to damage rolls now as it begins to corrode after hitting it.
Oh, I have to get a new whip. Okay. I am done though.
Okay. Grim. So you're down there at the ground. River kind of motioned Giuseppe to come up the ladder. He did, and then you hear the crack of his whip.
All right. How much movement do I need to climb the ladder?
Do you have a climb speed?
No.
Well, it's a 10-foot tall ladder, so you need 20 feet of movement.
And I'm standing at the base of it?
Yep.
Okay. I climb up until I can see.
Yeah, you move 20 feet up to get at the top of the ladder. Rust monster 6 feet away.
Sacred Flame. Dex save.
All right.
No bueno. 13 radiant damage.
Okay, it is near death.
And I'll intentionally drop off the ladder to clear the way. So, like, I'm pushing myself off of it so that I don't fall at the base of the ladder.
Gotcha. Okay. You do take 5 points bludgeoning from the fall.
Is the ground squishy?
Good point. The ground is squishy. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage, and you leave a
Mhm,
dent in
thought
the
of
ground.
that. I thought of that. It is fun to jump on Jello.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, but yeah. It's
That-
like
that is
there is not like a dent in the ground though where you landed.
like a moon crater.
No. There's no I forget the term for like the
Oh, there's
crown
no
around.
deformation of the edge?
Right. Yeah. It is bent. Think like jumping into like
Middle of a waterbed?
yeah. Except that it's not fluid, so it just sticks after you do that.
Yep. So when I get up, the dent is still there. Got it.
Right, but the edges are rounded from the deformation. There's no at least I forget the term, but like when an impact crater happens, there's like a rim around it above the normal terrain level. Caused from the
Yeah,
ejectant.
There is no ejectant.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
All right.
But yep, that's all I do. I clear the ladder for
Okay.
Hebron.
The rust monster is going to let out a squeal.
Of joy for making new friends.
No, it's going to run away. It is going to run to the other side of the roof, and looking like it's prepared to like jump off. However, Giuseppe, you have a 10-foot reach with that whip, right?
Yep.
So as it gets to the far corner, it just then leaves your zone of control as it's about to leap, and you can get an attack of opportunity. As you miss it.
Yeah.
Instead, hitting the flagpole, you guys hear this just like a bell ring just from this flagpole getting hit. As the rust monster leaps off over the edge, and very quickly comes to regret its decision. There's a soft crunch as it hits the ground.
I was just imagining it, because of its insectoid legs, impaling its feet through the ground and getting stuck.
Nope. That would make a different sound than crunch. Hebron.
Distance?
It is 20 feet up the ladder. Like it's a 10-foot tall ladder, so 20 feet without a climb speed.
I'm gonna run up to it and hit it with the magic sword.
Hold on. Run up to what?
The rust monster.
So you're going up the ladder.
E.
Okay, so you go up the ladder. You don't see the rust monster on the roof. The river and Giuseppe would be able to indicate that it jumped off over the far side.
Well, I'm up top. That's fine. Works for me. That's
Yeah.
all.
You still have 10 feet of movement. It's a 15 by 15 square roof.
I walk over, look over the edge.
Yeah. So you see this rust monster, at least the back half of its carapace sticking up out of the ground. It looks like it landed face first. It is also not moving.
Hmm.
Yeah, you guys are actually out of initiative. It looks like this. It was gambling that it could survive that hit because it had 2 hit points. It lost. It was gambling. It was only going to take 1 point to fall damage and make me able to run away. Because you guys are scary.
What? No.
Poor little guy. I was going to offer to Python.
Probably would have been its best friend.
Imagine having a fucking rust monster as a pet. You know, like somebody, you just go rust one of the legs of the stool they're sitting on.
Mm-hmm. It's all fun and games until one day you wake up and realize it ate your armor.
That would be
And it's
problematic.
hilarious.
So yeah, you're standing on this roof. This flagpole is kind of swaying in a little bit from the slight breeze. 50 feet in the air.
Oh, I'll climb up and join them.
Yeah.
And Hebron's our investigation master, so I pass him the baton.
No, I'm certain you've got it. No, you don't want to do it? Ruffles?
Uh-oh. Did we lose Ruffles?
The rust monster finally got him.
Or it got his power company? All right, well, what are you guys doing on top of the roof then?
Hello? Anybody there?
I hear you.
Climbing down.
Do you hear us? Gilbert, do you hear us?
Uh-oh. Gilbert, can you not hear anyone?
I don't think Gilbert can hear anyone. Didn't think it was that scary of an encounter to frighten everyone into, non-action.
Guess we're not a scary party, we're a scaredy party.
Mm-hmm. Ruffles, can you hear me?
What? Yeah.
Okay. Because you were like talking and then you stopped talking for a while there.
Com check?
I
No,
hear you.
passed
Do
the
you hear
baton
us,
to
Gilbert?
There we go. Okay, now I can hear you guys.
Right. I was trying to figure out whether it was just Gilbert or if there was some issue with the server or something.
Hmm. What did we determine?
That it was just you.
Hmm.
So, what do you do?
I have no idea what's going on.
So you guys are on this 15 by 15 stone roof. There is a 50-foot tall, like 9-inch diameter flagpole in the center of it. There's a bite out of the base of it from where the rust monster was trying to get its lunch. Well, really, more of its supper at this point. It's like the sun's only got about an hour left. Before it leapt off the roof to get away from you guys when you came up and started trying to murder it.
I mean, you say that like it's a bad thing.
Well, it was bad for it.
It's considered impolite in some circles.
Well, it shouldn't have been eating no shit it didn't belong to.
How do you know it didn't belong to it?
Yeah, mister. We did come to its tower.
Because I've never seen a rust monster own a tower. And if he wants
Did
to
you?
show me proof of ownership, oh, he's dead. Never mind.
Yes, the D&D way.
Well, Under, you heard him. Now we need to make a dungeon run by a rust monster.
Indeed.
Yeah, so I'll scope around this place.
Okay.
Can help with your investigations.
Sure. Give me an investigation check.
Guidance.
Yeah.
Ruffles. All right.
I don't know, Gilbert. You can accept the guidance of someone who's less smart than you.
I don't need his intelligence. I need his spell.
He needs my wisdom. Clearly.
Okay, so you take a look around this roof, and for the most part, it's just a basic stone roof. The really interesting bits is when you get to the flagpole, is you realize that it is in fact made out of iron, but it's hollow. Using a process you recognize from when you've seen like water pipes, for like aqueducts and stuff. Usually those are made out of lead. It's like lead sheet that's rolled over, and then there's like a seam that's sealed up. This pole is made the same way. Except that inside, because it's hollow, you can see what looks to be like a copper pipe running up the middle of it. Like it goes into the floor. Or the roof, in this case.
Alright, you guys are gonna fucking hate me. I present to you Steve, the rust monster.
Why would I hate that? That's adorable.
We just killed him.
I didn't kill him.
I didn't even shoot him. I was just ready to.
And then this was the other option. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'd have to vote on it.
Oh, they're both kind of cute.
I like the first one better because the 4 legs is more aligned with a rust monster, how it's 4-legged.
Yeah, the second one it's more like a dinosaur type thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like I'm looking at the fusion between Squirtle, a rust monster, and the Tarrasque.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, the vibe I'm getting from that second one is I remember like in the 90s there was the dinosaurs show that was like clay, that was like puppets and stuff, but they were dinosaurs. There was a baby in it that looked a lot like that.
Wait, the one that ends with like the asteroid killing them all?
Yeah.
The Land Before Time?
No, it's a different thing. It's I only vaguely
Jurassic
know what
Lark?
he's talking about. Quick, make fun of Underdark for being a few years older than us.
I believe he's talking about Jurassic Lark.
Yeah. Ruffles got it before I could.
He's not older than me, though.
Look, they've gone to Ruffles too.
So that doesn't work.
No, it's just I simply refuse to
Yeah,
make fun
but
of
you're
the
so
geriatric.
old, you're out of sync with even our
You know
our
what?
pop culture.
You know what? Why don't you kiss my ass? How about that?
I mean,
Present,
as long as you don't have the pens
present
on,
your ass.
as long as you're not wearing the pens, sure.
No, I'm gonna make sure I'm wearing them. Damn it!
It's
I'll
not
make sure
gay
they're
if it's
full,
underway.
Fucking fuckers.
But anyway, iron rolled around copper.
Yeah, like so it's like an iron pipe that's just stacked up to get 50 feet tall, and down the center of this pipe looks to be like a smaller copper pipe. That looks to actually go into the floor or the roof in this case. Because you can clearly see it through the opening that the rust monster made when it bit part of the flagpole off. Like through the side. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It probably spit the copper out.
Well, it didn't get to the copper. It was only eating the pipe.
Mm. Weird little thing, eating the crunchy outside and not the gooey inside.
Well, yeah, it's a rust monster.
Copper oxidizes?
Y- y-
Or
yeah,
does
but
the rust?
it wants the the iron.
Rust is oxidation.
Yeah,
Rust
yeah,
is
but
specifically iron.
it wants iron. I mean, look. If you had an iron deficiency and I gave you a bunch of copper, I don't think that would fix your issue.
Unless it's substandard copper.
Well, then I'd expect to get like a strongly worded letter. Like it's not in it for like what's that called? A patina?
Well, for copper, it'd be verdigris.
That's what. It's not a, we'd have to call it a verdigris monster. No, this one wants that sweet iron oxide. Besides, if it wanted the copper component, it might actually be like invisible or something.
Yeah, and just like as a quick sketch, like, this is like the hole that it made in the side of the flagpole. And like that solid bar is the copper running down the middle of it. But that is all you find upon the roof.
What's down the hole?
Well, there isn't a hole. It looks like it goes to like a pass-through fitting tightly. There's no gap like in the iron part's bolted to the stone roof.
Right.
And then the copper looks like it goes through a tight hole through the stone. So there's no like gap to like go down or look through there.
All right. I guess I'll poke around the rest of the structure. Maybe there's a concealed door of some variety.
So you're going down to the ground level then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me another investigation check.
Can I get assistance and some guidance?
Yeah.
Always have it.
I don't know. Can you?
I don't know. That's why I have to ask. It's been specified by under. I must ask each and every time. Such are the rituals I must invoke in order to acquire the magic powers to succeed on the dice bot.
Yeah. So you're looking around. And the three side, like there's the side with the ladder, no secrets there. We go to the other two sides that are blank, nothing there. And as you're looking at the, you can see on the western side is face of this building, I should say, is this rusted iron door, currently shut, and it looks like there's like this like red like ooze just kind of seeping through the bottom of the door. And there's like a puddle of it in front of it. Are you approaching that door?
Yes.
Okay. You'll have to step in the puddle. Is that all right with you? Pretty nasty looking.
I wouldn't do that. Just out of,
He tempts me. He tempts me to step into the puddle. I poke the puddle with a stick.
What is this stick made out of?
Typically speaking, sticks are made out of wood.
Well, for all I know, you could be like, give an iron stick or something you're poking it with.
That would be a rod.
Or sword. There are a few options.
The point is, I was just making sure so that I could describe what happens next accurately. As
Of
you
course.
poke the wooden stick in, and the end immediately catches on fire.
Nani?
If it's a stick with
Okay.
metal and a point, that's a spear. Or javelin.
Under,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take this glass vial,
Okay.
and I'm just going to get some of the shit in there.
Okay. How are you doing that?
Carefully.
Yes. Are you just like taking it in your hand and just like scooping some out, submerging your fingers in it?
No, God, no. No. Dear God, what do you think I am? Stupid? No, I'm going to lower. I'm going to lower the opening of the glass container so that the liquid would naturally flow in, and then lift it out without touching the this vile substance.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand check as you go through the motions of doing this. Okay. So you're doing it, and you like brush the top of it with your fingers, and it hurts. It hurts. You take 3 points of acid damage, as you realize it kind of like burned the surface of your skin off on those fingers, as you pull up the half of the vial.
Did it dissolve the glass?
It dissolved the glass. And the skin off those fingers, off like the surface of the fingers, it skimmed the pool.
This acid?
Hebron will take a bit of ceramic and like dip a empty ceramic kind of flask into it.
Okay. Give me another sleight of hand check, because I presumably you're trying to do this without
Oh no, I'm
touching
not.
it.
I'm not trying. I'm not trying to acquire. At this point, I'm attempting to experiment. So I'm just taking the ceramic flask and just kind of sticking it in, not touching it. I'm just going to let it like plop it on the surface, see what happens.
Okay. Let's see. So medieval. This is probably like what, porcelain, or is this like terracotta?
Probably terracotta. Porcelain tended to be a bit on the fancier end.
It is. I was just making sure what type of flask he has. As smoke begins pouring out from between like the flask and the pool, before it shatters.
And then it dissolves, I assume.
No, it explodes.
Oh. Interesting. The bits of presumably shrapnel that would land outside the puddle, what's going on with them?
They're smoking a bit.
Uh-huh.
Though, as you look, it does look like that the little bits of the substance that were on the terracotta shards do get absorbed by the terracotta as it emits smoke, and you can see like little white areas on the terracotta where it was touching.
What would cause that kind of discoloration?
Make an Arcana check. Either that, or if you're proficient with alchemist tools.
I am not.
Okay. You don't know. You wouldn't expect acid, like you've worked with acids before, right? Being an adventurer and all that. You've worked with like basic acids and poisons and greases and things of that nature. This usually it doesn't react this way. You don't know what would do that.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Let's get especially creative here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Let's
take
do
that adamantine ingot and tap the corner of it against this goop.
Ah, okay. You do so. There is no apparent reaction.
Interesting. Adamantine is unaffected.
I have my Drake like dip the tip of one of his claws in since he's immune to acid and see if it affects him.
Yes, he can. The tip of his claw bursts into flames. He takes 2 points of fire damage, as presumably he would withdraw it and try to like shake off the substance before his whole hand goes up.
Yeah, I'll just smack it out with the canvas blob.
I I guess I'll test.
What color is your Drake's claws?
What color is the Drake metallic acid dragon? Metallic dragons.
Isn't that bronze for acid?
Copper, I believe.
But copper was poison.
No, I think bronze is lightning. I don't think there is a poison one for the metallics.
Oh, you're right. It is copper. Okay.
Yeah, so it'd just be like a tiny copper dragon.
Yeah. So, like the tip of his claw, is like a bit like think like the like pruning like fingers get when they're really wet. It's kind of like that. Like the underlying creatine kind of was badly reacted to that. The copper itself is because of his acid resistance, it's unaffected.
Okay.
I'm gonna test with a couple of metals. Lead bullet, steel dagger.
Both dissolve.
Interesting, but they don't produce heat.
Well, they do. Anytime like an acid reacts with metal, it's an exothermic reaction. It produces heat, but it doesn't burst into flames the way the wood did, or the way the terracotta did.
Copper,
the
silver, gold, platinum.
terracotta just exploded and seems to have some kind of burn mark. Yeah, those would be the next logical ones because I got a coin of each.
Okay. The platinum is unaffected. The copper, gold, and silver all dissolve in it.
Interesting. Okay. Everybody back the hell up.
Okay, fine.
I drop a drop of alchemist fire on it.
Okay. There is a loud explosion, and I need all of you to make dexterity saving throws. Because unless you backed up about 100 feet, you're getting hit by this.
Should I have my Drake make one as well?
Yes. Mister?
Yes.
Dex save. He exploded the pool. Okay, well, Grim and Giuseppe
Oh.
failed. So those of you who failed take 61 points of fire damage. If you passed, you take half.
I
I'm dead.
interpose my shield and take none.
Grim
Wait,
is
you're
dead.
dead? Who said
Dead.
they're dead?
Grim is dead.
That's over his.
Grim is
max-
dead?
Yes.
The fuck is his maximum hit points?
Normally, 37. But I took damage.
From
Oh,
what?
When he jumped off, he took 2 points of damage. It still shouldn't have put you at enough to get killed by just 60 points.
Oh, I had the damage from the other day on there still. I didn't clear that out. Okay, I'm just unconscious.
I was
I'm
gonna
like,
say,
I'm like,
wait,
I'm
what?
like,
Like
When
I would have had
did
to
I
have
take
done like
damage
67
today?
damage to you.
yeah. No, I was trying to figure out where I was. Just like, well, the math is
I
math, right?
almost
I'd
killed
be
you.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as the smoke clears, the iron door is gone. There are cracks in the stone facade of the building. There is a 2-foot deep depression in the ground from the force of the explosion. And that depression is about 20 feet in diameter. So the area in front of the door is now disc-shaped. And yeah, but all of that substance is gone.
All right, we're clear. Oh.
I'll tap Mr. Grimm with the cure wounds.
I believe Giuseppe also said he was unconscious.
Yes, Giuseppe is unconscious. Yes.
I mean, unless it threw us back, he should still be able to get to us in 2 rounds.
Yeah, you guys weren't in it, so yeah, you're still there.
And even if it did throw us back, I can cover 70 feet in just my movement with feline agility.
The concussive part of the blast was rather short-ranged, but the fireball was not.
Probably why every wizard takes it.
What's inside?
So you poke your head in there, and at the far side of the building, in the stone wall, is a sideways iron door, shaped like a caved in like a dish, embedded about 3 inches into the stonework. Sitting above it, that's kind of like sitting in the far wall. You can see in front of you a 10-foot wide set of stairs descending down. Looks like it goes about 30 feet. At the bottom, you can see a hallway going east. Along the ceiling, though, you can see where that copper pipe comes down from the flagpole, and then you can see very clearly it's been running along the ceiling and then down across that vertical wall. It got cut by the door. But because it's solid copper bar, it just stays there, just cut. And then continues down along the ceiling, following the stairs. So did anybody get Giuseppe up?
If Mr. Grimm doesn't, I will.
Oh yeah, I can get him up once he gets me up.
Okay.
I've got more access to spell capabilities.
Right. Well, okay. So if you guys get him up within a round or two, then we don't have to worry about the death
Yeah,
saves.
yeah,
It's
I get up,
impossible
then he
for him to
gets
fail
up.
enough
Yeah.
to die.
Yeah, I get up, he would have 1 failed.
And Max would have 2 if he nat 1'd it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Even if he
Yeah.
had,
Yeah, as long as you guys
he'd
get
have
him
only
up within 2 rounds,
1
he's
roll.
fine.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
guaranteed to not die. So yeah. Set of stairs descending about 30 feet. Far wall where, of this building, so that'd be the eastern wall. There's an iron door kind of embedded into it now, in cracks forming in the wall from the impact.
Hmm. Well, I have to assume the party will probably follow me about 30 feet back as I head down the stairs.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
All right.
Put up with you this far.
Well, you descend down. That acidic smell that had been in the air getting much, much stronger as you descend down.
Hmm. How curious.
As you get to the bottom of the stairs, you can see it is a 10-foot wide hall. Goes 5 feet to a T intersection where you can turn north or continue to the east another 5 feet to a closed pair of wooden doors. In the lintel above the doors, you can see there's like a small hole carved out for that iron or the copper bar to keep going along the ceiling through those double doors to the east.
I'd like to check that out. I'll investigate it.
Okay, make an investigation check.
Help and guidance.
Yep.
I decline this time. Now you have guidance.
Okay, well, the doors don't
14.
appear to be trapped.
All right. I shall open the doors.
All right. Yeah, the hinges aren't on this side, so you give the doors a push. They move slightly, but then stop as if they are barred from the far side.
Hmm.
What are the doors made out of?
Wood.
This was metal door.
No, they're made out of wood. The metal door was up top, and you took care of that.
In that, are the hinges aren't on this side, are they?
Correct. That's why you knew to push.
Okay. That was going to be the next question. Well then, Underdark, this door,
Mhm.
it needs to roll initiative against me. I intend to fight it.
The door just bitch slaps you before exploding. No, just make your athletics check.
From Hebron declaring initiative against the door to Hebron lying in a ditch.
Yeah, you just put your shoulder to it and just break this door down. It is just a wooden door. As the doors kind of collapse and you stumble into it, so you can see that this is a 30-foot across by 20-foot wide room. The far end of it is another pair of closed wooden doors leading east, which is also the path that copper bar above you takes. Next to the door heading north, because this is a corner, looks to be a 5-foot wide passage. In the southwest corner of the room, it looks like the floor has collapsed. And do you have dark vision, Hebron?
No.
So you're just using like a torchlight?
Ease.
He has
Okay.
a glowing sword whenever we're in the dark.
Gotcha.
Oh, right. Light cantrip.
Yeah, the way your light's going is, it looks like that goes down somewhere. There's something beneath it, but from like 10 feet away, you can't really look into it. It's not that shallow.
Sorry, run that by me again?
So you've broken into this 20-foot wide, 30-foot across room. You broke in the northwest corner.
Right.
Across from you, on the east wall of the northeast corner, is another pair of closed wooden doors. The copper bar on the ceiling goes straight for those doors and passes through a hole in the lintel above them to the east. Next to those doors, on the north side of the northeast corner, is a 5-foot wide passage heading north. To the south of you, in the southwest corner, it looks like the floor has given way to some void underneath it. But from 10 feet away, it is deep enough that you can't see the bottom, like where it's going.
Hmm. You know what? I think one of you guys might want to take the lead on this.
I think given what just happened a minute ago, we should probably sit back for a bit and have some juice boxes and a nap.
Well, it's getting close to late in the day. We could just go back to the surface and long rest.
That's true.
No point in going down here when we're fucked up. Take a short rest, then take a long rest.
Well, as you guys are discussing it in this doorway. Sorry, did you guys hear that?
As we're discussing this in the doorway?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, as you're discussing it in the doorway, you hear a plop as you see a couple of hands kind of reaching up from the void onto the edge, like they were climbing up from below.
Oh no. They came from below.
Really?
As you see this rather striking humanoidish figure, followed by another one, pull themselves up into this floor. There are two of them as
Oh,
they
kinda
look at you.
Ah.
Do any of you speak Undercommon?
Yes,
I
do
speak.
A lot.
Sometimes. I try to avoid it in most social situations.
Did it cut off the language? I said, do any of you speak
Yes.
Undercommon?
you just said, does anybody speak?
I know we all. Yeah.
We all jumped on that bandwagon.
Yeah, no, Undercommon. Do any of you speak Undercommon?
I do speak Undercommon.
Good.
I do not speak under.
So, River, you hear this guy, the guy who came up first, kind of pointing at you, going, and he says,
Your clipping made that unintelligible.
His clipping made that even better sounding. It was great.
he points at you and is going, surfacers! Surfacers! Was that better?
Was he selling
Yes.
souls?
No,
I'll take a couple of those. I'll
surfacers.
take a 6-pack of souls. Can I get Souls Light diet?
We don't have Soul Sight, but we do have Bloodborne.
Number 7, an extra dip.
I'm going to assume none of you speak Undercommon, and I'll translate.
No, I don't speak under.
Sure.
I don't think they like surfacers.
The Great One has provided us. The Great One provides. He's still pointing at you.
I'll up to Undercommon and say, no, the Great One is not providing us.
It stops, like it's utterly shocked that you speak. And that's when the little one next to him suddenly points at you as well and starts kind of screeching in a high pitch but still intelligible undercommon. Heresy! 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 I'm sorry, that was terrible on my throat. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do that voice again.
All right,
Fine.
all right,
Give him a
guys.
couple
We
circulars.
need to turn these guys into new favorite NPCs, just like the GIF Hugh Ho Hum.
See, at least that one I could sustain for a bit. I mean, that was, I don't know, I just started choking on that one.
These things happen.
It then the little one turns in the hole and like bends over and begins yelling down the hole. Heretics! 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 And you hear the
Are you-
sound of
Why
more
are they
creatures
calling us
climbing.
Why are they calling us hairy dicks?
I mean, if anything, you think his friends would be confused, because it's like the whole Ride of Paul Revere. He didn't say the Redcoats are coming, or yeah, he didn't say the British are coming.
And as you see another couple of hands reach the top of that.
Oh, I think they've not taken kindly to us, and they may be trying to kill us in a minute.
And as you begin hearing like the sounds of climbing, another couple of hands almost reaching the top there. Those two guys charge at you, and you guys should roll initiative.
Idiots. Have we had a long rest since we died?
No, you've had no rest.
You literally have the 13 HP I gave you.
You guys were
Unless you
talking about
drink it.
taking a rest after knocking these doors down and letting these guys know that you're here.
Yeah, of course. Gilbert walks us into another fight without.
Well, if you wanted to avoid a fight, you should have spoken up and been more involved in the decision-making process.
I mean, I expected when you killed the entire party, that would have gave you a warning, that we might have wanted to pause for a second to recharge after you killed half of us because of, just.
I don't
that
give a
would
fuck.
that would be something you should maybe say and be actively involved in.
Nobody died.
Yes! A couple of people did for a few seconds.
You were dying, not dead.
All right. Well, Grim, these guys do have some very sharp, pointy teeth, and they do look hostile at this point.
Distance?
15 feet to the closest one.
All right. I step back 1 foot
Okay.
and cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
It's doubling down on him entering it and not starting his turn in it.
Sure.
But yeah, I spin up the weasels.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's all I can fucking do.
Giuseppe.
Giuseppe's gonna hit him. One of them.
All right. Assuming like that big one that's charging at this point.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna move. That's the one that's charging on Grim, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Or
So
not
I'm gonna
Grim. That's
move-
charging at River because River was the one talking.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna move up beside Grim because they have to come through his aura to get
Mhm.
to us, and that way I can hit him from there.
Okay.
I can't do that, right? I could if I move up beside Grim. Could I hit the one coming at us?
That would still put you 16 feet away from him. You'd want to move up next to River to be 10 feet away.
Okay, I'll move up next to River then.
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
One hit. Cruisers.
15 points of slashing and radiant damage.
All right. Yeah, as that hurts him and he is near death.
I am then, as a bonus action. Wait, is this a bonus action? No, it's an action. Okay, well. I only have 13 hit points.
But that was the whip, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He will use his reaction at being hit by a melee weapon to try and grab the weapon. This is a special reaction that these guys get. And I need you to make a strength athletics check unless you want him to just rip the whip out of your hand. You need to beat a 2.
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, I should be able to do that. My mod is only +1, so you never know.
Just try not to roll a nat 1. There you go. All right, you keep a hold of your whip.
I've been fucked up on roll 1.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. These guys. So these weasels are flying around like right in front of them. He stops, just dead in his tracks. Eyes, fishy eyes, going even wider than normal. As he turns around, and River, you can hear him yelling, "Magic users, magic users, run!" As both of the guys on the surface jump into the hole, and you can see those hands, the sound of very quick scrabbling as they retreat immediately.
Well, Mr. Grimm, you've scared him off.
Hebron, do you do anything?
They're running off.
They appear
But
to
you
have
still
fled
have
the
that-
field.
If you still have that vial of stuff, drop it in the hole. Make a napalm bomb.
Why would I do that?
He never
Smoke 'em
acquired
out.
a vial of the stuff.
It ate the vial.
He blew the vial. He blew the puddle up.
Oh.
Dissolved the vial.
Yeah. Also, why would I want to do that though?
Smoke them out.
Who cares? Some fishmen.
I mean, I'm hungry. We can have fish.
Yeah. I'm not particular worried. Everyone's just gonna hang out where he is.
Okay. River, do you do anything?
I'm going to yell down in Undercommon. If you're willing to talk this out, I'm sure I can get my companions to be more forgiving.
You hear faint voices coming from below. Run, flee, hide!
Yeah, they're hiding.
Anything else?
I'm just going to keep an eye down the. Will they come out of a hatch or a?
Well,
opening in
it's like the
floor?
floor collapsed into. As you're looking down there, it looks like there's like a cave down there.
Yeah, I'm just going to ready in action to shoot any fish that come out of there.
Sure. Grim, anything?
Yeah. I'll walk over to the edge of the hole, sit down cross-legged, cast light on a ball bearing, and toss it down to give River better line of sight.
Yeah, it looks to be a cave down there, about 10 feet down. You don't
Yep.
see anything. Like, you don't see any fish guys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit on the edge so that my weasels are in radius down there.
Okay, yep. Giuseppe, you doing anything?
Nope.
All right. Well, I think at this point we can say you guys are safely out of initiative. The fish guys will not be poking their heads out down there anytime soon.
Can't imagine why.
But eventually, the minute runs its due, and the weasels turn off.
I recast it out of spite. Nah, we'll just go take a short rest outside.
Okay. You guys have no problems retracing your steps back to the surface. Sun's low in the horizon, the trees casting long claw-like shadows along the ground. You wait the hour, and it is uneventful. But night has fallen. Do you rest, or...
Well,
Yes.
yeah, I'm resting.
Okay, well, you've successfully finished your short rest.
Cut out.
I said you successfully
make-
finished your short rest, but night has fallen at the end of it, and so now it is time for your long rest.
Yay.
Are you still keeping with a chat order for your watch?
Yeah.
Sure. why
Okay.
not?
The night. Let's see. Still got a nice breeze. A few rain clouds come in. There's some drizzle. But the stars are, there are some stars visible, enough for the telescope anyway. As other than
Catch them on the horizon.
Yeah. And like occasional gaps do form.
All right. Well, I do change the spell from identify.
Okay. But other than the light drizzle beginning, the night is uneventful. Morning comes and you have successfully taken a long rest. I then require a Constitution saving throw from everyone versus poison.
Mm. Oh, sure.
No, my weakest of my physical saves.
Got a 2 and a 3 for me and the Drake. That one's on both.
Oof.
What is it? Constitution save?
Con save versus poison.
Son of a bitch.
All right, well, Giuseppe passed, barely. Grim and Heberon are fine. River and your Drake. What is your maximum HP and the maximum HP of your Drake?
Mine is 46 and the Drake's is 30.
Not anymore.
Okay. Your maximum hit points, River, are reduced by 5. The Drake's by 3.
Uh-huh. Okay. That is not something we should stick around too long around.
I agree.
But yeah, other than that, the morning has come.
Yay.
Light drizzle.
Boo.
None of the fish people came out of the structure and attacked you in the night, though.
Well, that's nice.
How kind of them. Let's
Yeah, I guess we ought to proceed.
And where do you proceed to?
The mine. Unless the party wants to stick around here and mess around with the fish people.
No.
You don't want to explore the fish person dungeon?
I mean, do you guys want to explore the fish person dungeon?
I mean, I don't care either way.
I mean, I did
Me.
prepare Fireball.
I mean,
He's got a point.
now that we're all healthy and stuff,
Alrighty. Well, Giuseppe, you seem to be dying to kill some fish. Would you like to take point?
no.
No?
Aren't you sneaky?
He is.
I am.
Don't you have dark vision?
I do. Yes.
So, of all of our party members, you're the most ideal to take point in a dark cave full of hostiles. You're least likely to be discovered, and you're likely to discover them first.
I mean, all of that is possibly true. But all right, fine. I'll go first into the rabbit hole or the fish manhole.
I'm just picturing Mr. Allegedly.
Yeah. So you descend into the 10-foot wide stairs of 30 feet. At the bottom is a 10-foot wide hallway, goes 5 feet to a T intersection, where you turn north, or continue past the intersection another 5 feet to a open pair of wooden doors that have been busted down. The door is still visible on the floor beyond. Along the ceiling is that copper tube from the flagpole. Going along the ceiling, it goes straight through a hole in the lintel above the broken down wooden doors, and straight east towards the opposite end of that room. The far end of that room, through the doorway at the bottom of these stairs, you can see a closed pair of wooden doors and a passage turning north.
All right, which way do you want to do? The doors at the north.
Yes.
All right, well, I guess I'll.
Which do we want to do? You're on point. You get to pick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goody. I move up to the doors and open
Okay.
and open them because I don't have any lockpicks or nothing.
Sure.
Oh wait, no,
Let's
yes
see how
I do.
smart
yes,
you are.
Yes, I do. I do have the tools. I'll go up and check the door for traps. Make sure.
Okay. So yeah, you walk past the intersection and into the 20 by 30 room, up to the closed wooden doors at the far end.
Yes.
Okay, and give me an investigation check as you begin checking them for traps. To the southwest, you can see clearly there's the floor that collapsed. No fish people evident, though. The doors appear to be completely untrapped and perfectly safe to open. To the
I'm
north,
sure
you
they
can
are.
also see a 5-foot wide passage that looks to go 10, 20, 30, 40, about 50 feet before it looks like it opens up into a room at the far end. You can also see 2 closed, smaller wooden doors about 45 feet down. That's to the north. To your east is the closed wooden doors that are not trapped.
All right, so let's open these double doors.
Okay. The hinges are on this side, and so you can just pull the doors open.
Okay.
And they pull open without any traps going off, revealing a 10-foot wide hall that goes 10, 20, 30, 45 feet to a T intersection where you can turn left or right. Did I get cut off again?
You say
I heard you counting,
hallway.
but I don't know if you said
Oh.
anything after that.
So yeah, you open the doors, 10-foot wide hallway goes 45 feet to a T intersection at the end, where you can turn left or right. So north or south, 2 5-foot wide hallways. Spaced along this hallway, though, are 4 copper panels kind of set into the wall at a slight angle as if to, kind of like you would expect for like sound baffles. Though these are made out of copper. The copper bar along the ceiling continues straight along this hallway, and you can see at the end when it reaches the T intersection, it turns left and heads north.
Okay. I guess we keep going, I guess, right? Trying to figure it out.
Okay. So you walk to the end of this hallway. To the south, you can see that the 5-foot wide passage that way goes only about 5 feet before opening up into a broken room. It looks like it was at one point a masonry room similar to these hallways, but it has like partially collapsed. You can see the far walls like rock and rubble. And from the smell, it smells kind of fishy that way. To the north is a 5-foot wide hall that goes, let's see, so to the north would be 10, 20, 30, 40, about 50 feet. And at the end, you can see a closed wooden door. I'm sorry, an iron door. But partway around that hallway to the north, about 15 feet or so from the T intersection, the copper bar along the ceiling turns left and heads through a hole in the wall.
Okay. Which way, y'all? Tell me something.
Well, you're on point. You make the decisions.
Okay.
I'm certain you're smart
That's-
enough to figure it out.
No. Okay.
Come on, you can do it. We'll be fine.
Okay. Nope. All right, then.
How far is the party behind Giuseppe?
I have no idea. I done forgot where we were at.
Oh, we
done
were
forgot
waiting
where-
outside.
Yeah,
No, I'm
I have
kidding.
no idea where I'm at. I done forgot, man. Fuck, I ain't gonna lie to you.
We told him
I
to
have
go ahead,
not-
and we all just wait outside by the bonfire.
I have no
Now we're
idea what we're doing.
20, 30 feet behind him.
Okay.
Don't
Alright.
worry, we won't lose him around a bend.
Yeah. Well, it's at about this point that I will need everybody to make an intelligence saving throw.
Intelligence saving throw? Oh,
Yes.
Fuck, not the in saves.
So as all 4 of you are just kind of racked with like a strong headache that comes on somewhat suddenly. And for most of you, that's the only effect. River, your intelligence score is reduced by 1.
Oh, no.
Oh no. I've been listening to people argue too much online.
Okay.
So yeah, you're standing at this T intersection, having walked down this 10-foot wide hall. To the south is a 5-foot wide hallway that looks to lead to a broken room. To the north, it goes 50 feet to a closed iron door at the far end. But partway down, about 15 feet to the north, that copper bar along the ceiling turns left and heads through a small hole in the wall.
Okay.
So do you go north or south? Or do you retreat back west?
North. Fuck
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you head north. The copper bar just turns off to the left, heads through the wall. You pass on by, and after 50 feet, you reach the iron door at the end of this hall.
You open the door.
Okay. You open the door, which immediately falls with a clang. It actually turns out the hinges are broken. It was just resting in the door frame.
Well, they know we're here now, so.
Inside the room, which is 15 feet wide and 25 feet deep, you can see about a dozen or so iron strong boxes, all of them flipped open and apparently empty. There are a few loose coins, which glitter gold in the light cast by Hebron, scattered on the floor.
Well, that ain't right. Okay. So what do y'all want to do with this? Anybody? Because I'll just walk off and leave it. Don't give a shit.
Perhaps you should check it out, Giuseppe.
I mean, perhaps you should help me because if you leave it to Giuseppe, I'm not going to get anything done.
What, do you have malice to your intelligence?
I don't have any intelligence. I have a 10. I have a +0. I don't
Look,
have
man,
any
you said it, not me.
I mean, so either you help me or Giuseppe's just going to walk the fuck off. I don't give a damn about this shit. Keep playing with me and see. Keep playing with me. Keep playing with me and see. I don't give a fuck.
You know what, guys? I'm kind of curious to see how a session would play out if we do this to Mister the entire night.
I would stop playing and y'all would be sitting here listening to me doing nothing because I wouldn't do nothing. I just that would be the end of it.
Yeah, I'll check it out later.
Okay, give me an investigation check then.
Can I get assistance from River and guidance from Mr. Grimm?
Yep.
See,
If you insist.
Okay, so you start looking about, and it looks like these dozen or so iron strong boxes were pried open. You can clearly see tool marks on the edges. Somebody came and hit this and looted this place before you guys got here. It also looks like from like the age on the marks that it was a while ago. However, as you're checking stuff out, you're looking about there is about like 50 gold pieces and loose coins on the floor that you could easily pick up. And when you get towards the back of the room, yeah, exactly. You there's like a little shift on the floor tile, and a sound of a click, and the sound of like a wet flat sound.
Shit. That didn't sound good. I think I fucked up.
But there's no visible changes in the room. And I think that is where we will call it this evening.
Oh, so we can worry about what the hell that noise was. Correct?